Well, the reviews are in. Rashad Richey's book, Ancient Egyptian Mastery of, get this, Quantum Physics, Vibratory Frequency, never heard of that, and Geometric Sciences, an overview of complex scientific applications in ancient cultures. It doesn't seem to be selling much, though. Unlike Rashad Richey's incessant bragging about this being a #1 physics bestseller, the sales on this book are essentially abysmal. But now we have some reviews to look at. Oh, this is really funny. Hello out there. I am trying to get through.
With cold, blunt analysis cradled in the warmth of reasoning, it's time for Johnny Walker Dread to straighten you out on a thing or two. Emanating all the way from exciting Las Vegas, Oklahoma, it's time for the Johnny Walker Dread Show.
So how well has it sold? Well, it ranks 1,118,108 on Amazon. This is the bestseller he's been crowing about. That's right. Roughly 1.2 million books have outsold it. But if you take away those, then yeah, it's a bestseller. What does this mean in terms of sales? Well, according to the calculator here, which is probably reasonably accurate, he is selling about 4 per month. And you can bet that 75 to 80% of all those sales are to himself, because we have pictures of him handing out those books that he bought to students. So you know that very few people have bought this book off Amazon. I would not be surprised if the sales to all non-Richies can be counted on one hand. And here they are. There are only 8 of them. That's right. The #1 physics bestseller has garnered a total of 8 reviews. Only 6 of those are from verified purchases. And one of those 6 is a total rip. And it's a lot of fun. Here we go. Bookanista. I'm not going to read it all, but I want you to read what he writes here at the end. When I say he writes, I mean it, because this was written by Rashad Richey. How do you tell? At the end, it says, "Nice job, Dr. Richey." So he has to give Dr. Richey a pep talk. Let's take a look at another one. "Get this now. You won't regret it." And at the end, "Good work, Dr. Richey. You earned me respect." I think it's my respect. Thank him for his words and service to the world. This one hasn't even bothered to read it yet. So let's go ahead and give it 5 stars, even though we haven't read it yet. Enlightening. And here, the pep talk is in the title. Well done, Dr. Richey. In case the pep talk didn't get through, we'll just put it at the end too. Job well done. I already know it's going to be amazing, so you haven't read the book yet. So of these 8 reviews, only 6 of them actually read the book before posting their 5-star reviews. Jeez. But all is not well in Dr. Richey land, because somebody actually bought the book, read it, analyzed it, and decided to put forth an honest opinion about it. Let's read this. And when it begins with a request for a refund, that's never good. I've debated writing my review of Dr. Richey's book for quite a while. I was real excited when my copy arrived, but soon came to believe that I had been pranked. I love it. The book only cost $16. Oh yeah, that's right. This book is cheap. Now I see why it's so cheap. The book is tiny. Look at this thing. My hand completely covers it. Amazon says the book is 90 pages, but it's double spaced. This book is more like a pamphlet. I mean, that's not an exaggeration. There's not much here. I really wanted to like the book because I like Dr. Richey personally. Why? Good question. But his theories are really far-fetched, like alien abduction far-fetched, and he never explains how this is supposed to make sense or cite any credible sources. I checked that out, and he's absolutely right. I counted them. There are 28 references in this book. 28 in the entire book. And if you read it, you'll find out that only about 3 or 4 of them are actually peer-reviewed scientific articles. Remember, this is supposed to be a physics book. The rest of it is comprised mostly of just a bunch of mishmash of New Age quackery books and online articles. To top it all off, he calls Egyptian gods by their Greek names. So disrespectful. Is this true, Dr. Richey? Oh, I'm sorry. I called you doctor. Let me correct myself. Mr. Richey? Seems that most of Dr. Richey's book was just restating what were in 2 books written by Ibrahim Karam, who seems to hold a lot of fringe ideas. I'm not exaggerating when I say that not a single paragraph in the book made any sense at all. And for my next video, I'm going to pick a paragraph at random and read it and analyze it. And we will all laugh because he's absolutely right. I think it's a he. This book is a complete joke. Every paragraph is completely nonsensical. So I loaned the book to my friend who teaches at Georgia Tech. He has a real good physics background. You know what he said? He said it was New Age quackery and questioned whether Dr. Richey understood anything about physics or ancient Egypt. I can answer his question for you. No, he doesn't. Maybe he knows a little bit about ancient Egypt. He knows nothing about physics. No clue at all. And when I read the paragraph from his book, you'll see why. Most, if not all of stuff mentioned in the book is just ridiculous. On page 47, Dr. Richey claims that the pyramid faces were triangular and therefore had 3 sides because of some mysterious connection to frequency that he doesn't explain. He then goes on to say that this explains why we only need 3 primary colors to make up all colors of the rainbow, and why Native American mythology can be understood as the threefold flame of the heart. I checked, it's in there. And what he's saying here is pretty accurate. It only got worse. On page 70, Dr. Richey says that the concept of earthing is the idea that you can heal yourself by walking around barefoot. I'm not making that up either. The concept of earthing works by synchronizing the body's physiological and electromagnetic pulses in resonance with the greater whole of the life force, promoting qualitative frequencies of the earth. What does that even mean? And I have no idea. Qualitative frequencies? What? I mean, frequency is a measure of vibrational rate. There's no quality to it. It's just a measurement. It's like, how fast are you traveling? 30 miles an hour. There's nothing quality about 30 miles per hour. That's just the speed that you're traveling. Oh my God. And by the way, I checked that one too. It's in there. I'm going on a trip to Egypt with Dr. Chike Akawa. There's a black supremacist if you ever heard one. This summer to learn more about my African ancestors. Hey, I got news for you. If you're black, you're not related to the Egyptians. Egyptians are not of sub-Saharan ancestry, which is probably a good thing because Egyptians were slave owners, unless you want to take credit for that. Dr. Richey is going to, I feel so bad for you. You're going to have to listen to him all the way there and back. And he'll be giving us lectures on quantum physics. I think at this point I wished I could have gone. I would have loved to hear that. And his connection to Egypt. My friend gave me a list of questions to ask him during his lectures to see if he really knows his stuff. I would definitely want to hear that. We'll see. Hey, you don't have to tell me that. I know how that's going to work out. Okay, so this review came in actually after I recorded this video this morning. So I thought I would squeeze it in. It says here, not accurate at all. I thought this was a work of fiction until I realized the author was serious. The book is a result of a wild imagination without reputable peer review. 8th graders have a better grasp on science. Wow. And he's probably right. When you hear me read passages from the book, you'll think so too. So there you have it. The reviews are in, and they are not good. Clearly, Rashad Richey wrote pretty much all of them, except for maybe one or two, because he just could not resist placing in there accolades to himself. He just can't stop from doing that. You would think that for at least just a couple of paragraphs, he could refrain from that to make it look like it was written by a third party, but he can't. He has no ability to not brag. Now, if only he had something real to brag about. Like my video and subscribe to my channel. And stay tuned for future readings of Mr. Richey's physics book.